This is Blu Laker, and this show is emanating from Radio Tribune in Las Vegas. So we're happy to be able to present some of the facts and information about a lot of different subjects, and today's subject is going to be on some of the things that are happening with the new administration. They have been perplexed with all kinds of disingenuous programs that are not making any sense. You know, when they start talking, when they keep trying to discredit and discourage and upset other people, they're not working with the best interests of this country in mind. They're doing it purely out of selfishness. And that doesn't work, because elected officials are supposed to represent the interest of the entire population, not just their constituents. Because what works good in one state doesn't work good in another. And we have to have commonality, we have to have civility, we have to be patient, we have to work towards making progress and doing away with waste. Waste comes in all forms. It's not just what you throw in the trash. Waste is when you buy something that you maybe don't need or won't use. That's waste, and that money is gone. Could you sell it? Maybe. Maybe you could give it away, or maybe you have to throw it in the trash. But that's part of what we're talking about. How much money are we wasting here in the United States that could be used and put to good use? I think if we really knew that figure, we would be absolutely amazed, because it's got to be staggering. Look at all the money we give to other countries. Well, we can't even take care of our own. Why? The government is not an independent group of people who can do what the heck they want. Yeah, there's 535 representatives. But does that mean that they have free realm and the discretion to impose upon us taxes and fees and obligations that don't belong to the United States? And those are the ones that we're talking about in terms of waste. Why can't we obey the laws? Why are they given a free ride? And when I say free ride, I'm basically saying, why are they not subject to the same laws that we are? Why aren't they being held responsible for what they do? Wasting money is one of those things that they do, but with no consequences. If you and I waste money in our business, we probably won't be in business very long. I guess it's okay if you have the goose that laid the golden egg, because you can just grab a couple more eggs and you're back in business, but we don't have that privilege. So we need to take care of what we got. In the book, The Art of War, it talks about making gains, but it also talks about making sure that you don't lose what you worked so hard to get. And that's what happens when we neglect to look at where we've been, and especially where we're going, or where we need to go. And probably one of the biggest concerns with that is, how are we going to pay for these ongoing programs? Guess what? The population is getting bigger, bigger, and bigger. I just got off the freeway. And it's incredible. It's bumper to bumper. We haven't even hit summer. We have a new stadium coming in. Is that going to bring less traffic? No. It's not going to bring less traffic. It's going to be more. And if it's already bumper to bumper, how are we going to be able to deal with those circumstances? Mass transportation, even mass transportation, although it could work, it takes a long time to put it together. And a lot of construction, which means also a lot of detours, a lot of delays. We have all the delays that we need right now. It's important for us to understand that we're not getting smaller, that we're going to get more and more people coming into Las Vegas and Nevada. And we need to make accommodations for them. When I got here, there was only 20,000 people. Oh, I know I'm dating myself, but you know what, so what? Now we got, what, 2,200,000? What's it going to be like in another 20 or 30 years? Think about that. What and where are we going to be able to meet the demands of the population growth? Well, we're moving out the Boulder Dam. Oh, we got lots of room on the outskirts of town and different places like Apex and the like. Well, okay, maybe we have land, but do we have infrastructure? Do we have water, sewers, electric, natural gas, gasoline? All those things have to be built. And how much can be absorbed? Oh, and then don't forget, even in the surrounding areas, whether it be Cobra, Apex, down into the Colorado River Basin, out there past Boulder City and the like. Those people coming into town have to come in on the existing highways. Or we're building more. Well, yes, we're building some more roads. But does that mean it's going to lessen the pace or the demand? Aren't more people going to be using those? I was coming down Rancho Boulevard, and it was bumper to bumper. On the 15th, bumper to bumper. And this is only 2 o'clock. What happens during the peak hours? Are we going to find more road rage? Are we going to find more crime? Well, yes, we will. Because unfortunately, as the population grows, so does the negative side grows with it, because there's now more opportunity. So, again, in talking about waste, if we're ever going to try to resolve these issues, we have to eliminate the waste and plan ahead and make sure we're making the right decisions so that the future doesn't suffer for it or by it. Yeah, I remember when I came here, good Lord, that was a long time ago, went to Las Vegas. I went to school with one of the Benians. I can't remember which one. I think it was Teddy, not positive. And it was a very small town. It was very, very Western at that time. Charleston Boulevard and Rainbow was virtually non-existent. That was the outskirts of town. Most everything in town was 2-lane. It was a different city, a different town at that time. And today, look at where we're at. And I mention that because it was only time and pressure that put us into the position we are today. And we're building like heck. But I say, if we're doing all this building, what about the infrastructure? Now, I'm not talking about land or building. I'm talking about water, electricity, power, the things that are necessary to survive. Oh, well, we have plenty of power. Well, yes, we do. It's called the sun. But we haven't harnessed that in a way that is effective yet. Should we? Absolutely. Should we be seeing how much coal we should burn? I don't think so. That's not environmentally friendly. Can we discover ways to change that? Yes. So I'm going to tell you one way that I know of, just for the record. The cement plant in, let's see, Big Bear Valley, actually is Lucerne Valley, California, has to have ovens that get extremely hot. And so what they've done in order to curb the carbon dioxide that for years went without too much notice is that they have used sludge to clean their furnaces and basically dissolve the carbon dioxide. That's right, sludge. Human waste. Well, if they can do it there, why can't we do it in other places to where maybe we can do the same thing with coal by, oh yeah, I know, having sludge to dissipate the CO2. It's just an idea. It's something that could be looked into. I'm just one person. Although I may have come across that, it's not something I developed, but it is something that I know about. And few people do know because they don't bother to get into how a plant operates and what they have to do to meet the standards. And we're talking about the environmental standards. And that's the biggest issue with coal. It's not that we don't have a lot of it. It's not that we shouldn't do it. It's just that we have to figure out a better way to refine it so we're not polluting the atmosphere. So, again, when we talk about waste, when we talk about throwing money at something that potentially isn't going to work in the future, we've got to say, wait a minute. Before we do that, let's get the rest of the story. And that's all I'm saying. Let's get the rest of the story. Yeah. So I was telling you about the traffic today and how it seems to be getting worse by the day, and how with the new stadium coming in, it's going to get even worse. How do you say it? Worser? Well, it's bad enough now. Are they going to have parking facilities for all the additional traffic that's coming in? Are we going to have high-speed highways? Are we going to have rail service? Are we going to be able to move people in mass transportation? Well, we should. We could. But what will we will do? After all these things take development and money. Who's interested in that? Well, we should all be. We should all contribute to the future by, if nothing more, making the suggestions. And isn't that what Donald Trump has just said? He said, hey, we want your ideas. We want to know what you're thinking. But how many of you have picked up the phone or written a letter? Oh, I know it's difficult to get in touch with the administration, and it doesn't matter whether it's Donald Trump or Vice President Mike Pence or any of the others, even your congressman. Try to get them on the phone without going through a half a dozen aides. And are the aides capable of making legitimate decisions? Probably for the most part, yes. They have to filter out or cull information coming in. But they can make mistakes too. So where are we at in terms of representation? Donald Trump has said, I will be your voice. But if he doesn't get to hear our voice, how can he represent us? It's a paradox that we need to deal with. I know, with 330 million people here in the United States, you can't listen to every person. But there has to be a way that legitimate ideas can get through, can go through the filter and get to the top. We've seen that with a lot of different products that have been developed here in the United States. They didn't necessarily get to the top by themselves. Bill Gates is a good example. He had help. But it's a good thing we had someone like Bill Gates, because we would still be living in the dark ages. And you might be one of those people out there that is unique and has a great idea that needs to be pursued in behalf of civilization. Again, maybe you can tell other people who are listening how to get through, how to break through the barriers that are put up that prevent us from getting representation. You know, there are forces that work against us. Those forces are very, or to put it mildly, special interests created by deep pockets. Yeah, money is the root of all evil. And the only way to stop it is to kill the roots. No, I didn't say kill the people. The roots have to be taken out, destroyed, so that maybe we can get true representation. Maybe it can be more, can be fair, cost effective, with an eye to the future. So if you have any ideas, make sure that you send it to cobra.blulaker@gmail.com. That's Cobra, C-O-B-R-A, dot, period, Blu Laker, B-L-U-L-A-K-E-R, @gmail.com. We will answer your questions, and we will explain how you can be part of the future, not part of the past. The past is gone. We need not to forget about it, but to let it serve as a reminder of the things that have gone wrong, and learn from those mistakes so that we can be the world's superpower.
Call from +1 42434383399.
Oh, I forgot to turn the phone off. Well, folks, I can tell you this, that we really need input from everyone. We really need to put it on the table. Let's discuss it. discuss the pros and the cons. Isn't that the way it's supposed to be? You remember the old Ben Franklin tea? Well, that's putting down what the good side is and putting down what the bad side is and debating it and doing the compromises necessary to get them in a better formation. Yes, sometimes you do have to compromise in order to make it work for everybody. Can it please 100% of the people? I don't think so. You know, there are times, though, when we see people who support certain individuals and do it with 95% of the vote. That says something. And that's the way it should be with certain bills or laws that are put into effect, so that we get people to agree. And we can't go on and on and on and on and on. It's got to be kind of cut and dry. If we say we want funds for private tutoring, it's a yes or no. It's a simple up and down yes or no. If we want better education, and are we prepared to make the necessary changes? Simple yes or no. Do we want additional fees, or do we want lower fees? Do we want more government or less government? Do we want to use the natural resources we have? Or are we going to use fossil fuels and deplete what's left? Oh, you can say that, well, we have plenty for another 100 years. Well, you know, we've been in existence for 200 years. And 200 years from now, is there going to be an ample supply of these minerals and resources and water available for a population that has expanded maybe 100% from 9 billion to 18 billion? Are we going to do that peacefully, or are we going to do that where somebody wants what you got? And then all of a sudden there's an insurrection, one against the other. Something similar to what we had here in the Civil War. Something similar to that. Brother against brother. Well, we don't need it. We can have that 1,000 years of peace that was guaranteed. Or we can have war, poverty. Yes, war has been necessary in the history of human people. We've had it since really from day one. But we need to stop it, and we need to wind up with an agenda that allows us to, very simply put, obey the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not kill. It doesn't mean thou shalt only kill when you need it. It says thou shalt not kill. Now, if you don't think that's right, you think we need to continue down the road that like we've been doing, well then that becomes a different matter. And then it's going to be kill or be killed. But is that really what we want? Well, I don't think so. I think that we can have peace and tranquility. I think that we can find programs that will work for most everybody. I'm not so sure that you can ever put something together that's going to please 100% of the people. But anytime you get a consensus of opinion from 75, 80%, or 90%, then you've done probably as good as you're going to get. So today, because of the things that are, popping up on the national scene and everything else, I think we need to step back a second, think about it. Yeah, think twice before we act, and to make sure that we are capable of getting your message, our message, to people who perhaps can do something about it. We as individuals are subject to the decisions of those representatives. But if those representatives are not representing our best interest, then we need to get rid of them and get everybody working on the same page. It's almost like a religion, and it doesn't matter which religion you are. They have a common goal. In the United States, Christianity is the largest Christian population in the world. So most of us think along Christian lines. So that's commonality. Does that mean that we should object to other factions that are not religious or not of our religion? Of course not. Does it mean that we have to guard against others who would take our religion away from us? Yes. And that's really part of why we came together as a nation. That's part of the reason, maybe even the main reason we came together as a nation back in the 1700s. It's one of the reasons that we fought for our independence. It's one of the reasons that we were able to put together a constitution that made sense, that was to represent the will of the people. And they put long, tedious hours in to making sure that they covered all the bases. And you can say, well, yes, that was 200 years ago and things have changed. Yes, things have changed. But the intent and goodwill of our forefathers was meant to carry on forever. So, in closing for today, I would say to you, when you have something that is going to help humanity, then you need to make sure your voice is heard. Because, again, as Donald Trump said, I will be your voice. And he can carry it into the mainstream for us. We, as individuals, have limited opportunity to get the attention of the media without, and this is the sad part, without doing something distasteful, rioting, protesting, all these things that are disruptive to a responsible civilian population. So today, I want to say that this is Blu Laker at Cobra, USA, and that if you don't know about Cobra, Cobra is the law created in 1985 by Ronald Reagan that guarantees continued coverage of your existing insurance policy. Very important, very, very important for you and for your health. Have a great day and get ready for the weekend. Bye. It's over.